Chapter 18. She awakens in a soft bed in a cozy warm room, similar to her house back home. She lifts her head from the bed, while her body stays snug in the heavy blanket, examining her surroundings. The room is decorated in vibrant rugs and paintings like an art museum. The calming atmosphere is peaceful and quiet. However, footsteps from behind the wooden door close in. It cracks open, and with a smile, Aziza speeds over to her with 2 fancy cups, brimming with a gentle smell of herbs that coat the room. "I'm glad to see you awake," she said, reaching behind the head of her bed to pull out a small table tray. She sets both cups onto it and insists Hotaru drink with a simple gesture. Hotaru leans up from the soft bed and sips the refreshing tea. It tastes so refined and warm, like Pimiko's homemade broth. "What happened? And how did I get here?" she questions calmly. "You passed out from stress and exhaustion. I had to carry you, but I thankfully found Isis, and the guards let you rest within the castle." Her eyes widen. Her breath shakes. "Those monsters. That was all real." She drops the cup onto the tray, and it shatters. "Where is Isamu and Fedir?" She nearly jumps out of bed and throws the blanket to the floor. Her body is weak, and her mind is fuzzy, yet her heart beats with vigor. "Please relax for a moment." She grabs onto Hotaru, staring her in the eyes. "They are fine. They managed to find their way out. They're still here." It takes her a moment to decipher her words. She falls back onto bed, Aziza's soothing words repeating like a rhythm. Without her noticing, her eyes filled with tears. "Oh, thank the goddess. I thought I would never see them again. When I saw Isamu drown into the sand, Aziza hugs Hotaru, enveloping her in her comforting arms. "I understand your pain and fear. Losing someone close can feel worse than death, especially if they are family. But now is not your time to bear that burden. Neither of us will allow that to happen." Hotaru sniffles, wiping her eyes. "Thank you. Truthfully, I'm kinda jealous of how strong you are. Here I am crying about losing my brother, yet they are just as close to you as you are to me. That's what friends are for, right? And I'm sure Isamu would love to hear how much his little sister was worried about him. Can we keep this between ourselves? If he knew I was crying about him, he would never let me live it down. More importantly, Isamu already has a lot on his mind, and I can't have him worrying about me being something else that occupies his thoughts." Aziza chuckles as she releases her. "Of course. For all they know, we were relaxing at the castle's hot springs, drowning in good food and fresh drinks. Am I interrupting?" They turn their head towards the angelic voice near the door to find the queen. Hotaru, like how Isamu reacted, has her mouth agape as the queen approaches. "They were right. You are beautiful," she muttered without a thought. "Why did I say that?" she thought, flinching as if her words caused physical pain. "I already have trouble with etiquette back home. The king and grandma will not be happy to hear this." Thankfully, she isn't insulted or confused by her improper speech. "Your words flatter me, but I hope that my beauty isn't all I'm known for. As I say, beauty is like fashion. Today you're in, and tomorrow you're out." Aziza takes a proper bow towards the queen. "Thank you so much for your help. I don't know if any of my friends would have survived that tomb. Your words as well are too kind. However, it was your determination and strong bond with the young man that saved them." Aziza pulls from her chest pocket the cracked prayer ring. Even from where Hotaru is sitting, the ring's damage is easily spotted. In the blue, shimmering gemstone is a large, visible crack, going across like a river in a canyon. I'm thankful it actually worked. Once I heard it crack, I swore it failed. Quite the opposite, in fact. Never have I witnessed a transfer of energy so powerful that the ring itself fissured. Aziza reaches out the ring to the queen. The queen, however, refuses as she waves her hand. Keep the ring. You never know when you may need to call on its power again. Now, sorry for the change in subject, but I was hoping to speak to your friend. What is it you need from me? Hotaru blurted. It's a message from the Queen of Japan. She told me of your arrival, and that if you were to succeed, I would pass down a magic spell. Grandma knew? Aziza sighs. Seems she is always testing us and is watching somehow. Because you kept your end of the deal, I promised to teach you Zoom. Zoom? It sounds familiar, Hotaru said, taking a brief moment to sort through her memories. It is your grandmother's spell, after all, so I would assume you heard it from her. Nevertheless, when you are ready, I will see you in the throne room. Hotaru springs out of bed like a child on a holiday. Well, I'm ready to go. She pauses for a moment, before looking at Aziza. Now thinking about it, where are those two? It's not fair, Isamu screams and slams his fist into the rough sand. Would you stop your whining already? Fedir responded, relaxing under a large tarp, sipping on a cool drink while seated on a simple chair. Isamu lifts himself back to his feet, glaring down the closed entrance of the castle. So close was he to the heavens of the land, from the stories of the people of Asham to the short glimpse of the beautiful queen. He was nearly at peace. For nearly an hour he has been begging for entry to the guards of the gate, who grow irritated at the pathetic man's cries. The stalwart and patient guards at the front ignore him as he continues to rant. Don't you get it? We went through the trouble of fighting against hordes of monsters, avoiding deadly traps to grab this key, and we have to wait out here in the hot sun? Please, the only reason you want in is to see the queen. And you don't? I think we might have seen different people, because the lady who rescued us was the most stunning human being I have ever laid eyes on. She not only has the appeal of a goddess, but she saved us from death itself. Is it so wrong to not want to thank her for her actions? I mean, why have a castle in the middle of nowhere and only women can enter? That's sexist. How you're acting is exactly the reason they don't let us in, Fedir calmly answered as an audible sip from his straw breaks through the silent air. Isamu snaps his head to him, eyes filled with fire hotter than the desert sands. Shut up, man. You act all high and mighty, but I know who you are, Casanova. For the last time, he shouted, jumping from his seat and marching towards him. It wasn't me who said those things. They were the bartender's words. Yeah, sure, say what you will. Never mind this nonsense. More importantly, how long do we have to wait out here? They could at least reward us with a tiny fort of our own for the treacherous journey. Now that is a question I can get behind. Isamu finally calms down after several more minutes of mindless bickering. Picking a fight with Fedir in front of the guards only proves his point. He and Fedir step under the flimsy tarp, exhausted from the sun's rays, and yet haven't properly rested after their dangerous plunge into the pyramid. You think Hotaru is still asleep? She could be. From what Aziza told us, it seems they also went through quite a journey. Insane to think that, because of her, you were able to get your magic back. Isamu smirked. Looks like you were off about your divine intervention. Aziza 1, Goddess 0. Then perhaps it was the help of the goddess who just happened to find that claw. Or that Hotaru and Aziza found their way to the castle in the dead of night. Perhaps you leaping into the jaws of death to save me had something to do with her. I'm not buying that, Isamu scoffed, while Fedir grinned back at his snarky comments. Quickly, his face grows sincere. Either way, I'm grateful for it. I hope you two haven't been fighting this whole time. They turn their head over to find Hotaru and Aziza coming toward them from a single door near one of the sentries. Hotaru, despite the recent chaos, has a devious grin on her face. Aziza, on the other hand, is holding a steel staff with a cyan jewel atop it, remaining quiet as usual. Finally, Isamu sulked. What took you so long? We did a little catching up. But don't fret. The queen left us with some parting gifts. Isamu can smell a fresh scent off them, and their skin is practically glowing. Here we were on the verge of death, and those two were having a little get-together. I guess I shouldn't complain. Rather it be us than them, Isamu thought, relieved to see the two in no harm. Aziza hands Fedir the pristine staff. The queen wanted you to have this. Fedir takes it, gently waving it, and Isamu spreads his arms in confusion. Are you serious? I hope you told the queen my thanks, Fedir added. So that's it? The queen chose a favorite and left the rest of us to starve? She also gave us the power to traverse this desert in the blink of an eye, Hotaru said. How? Fedir spouted with excitement. Hotaru taps her head with her finger. Well, it's kinda hard to explain, so I will show you instead. Everyone grab onto me, she ordered, spreading her arms out as if absorbing light from the scorching sun. Aziza and Isamu grab onto her shoulder without a second thought, but Fedir hesitates. Why do I get the feeling I'm not gonna like this? Fedir eventually holds onto her hand, and a blue soft light forms around them. Slowly it grows opaque, and once fully concealed, they shoot into the air like a firework, blazing through the air like a falling comet.